Good morning and welcome to the program Hope Alive on Obi Datti Family TV. Okay, my name is Prince Kachi and I'm going to be your host today. All right, with me in the studio is also Loretta Igbo.
Hello everyone, good to have you.
Yes, it's great to have you guys watching the program today. As you already know, Hope Alive is a program where we highlight exceptional people and events that are making a difference in our society. On today's episode of the program, we'll be highlighting a very exceptional man that has turned the tides in Nigerian politics. All right, since he came into the scene, it has been like a tsunami that has taken over the political scene in the country. And we believe that this candidacy of this particular man is going to bring hope again to Nigeria. No, this is no other man but the man Peter Obi, okay, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party. He is the man of the moment, and he's the one that is bringing so much hope back to Nigerians today. All right, on today's episode, we also have people that have joined us virtually. Okay, we have people from the north, from the northern part of the country that have joined us virtually, but we'll be getting to meet them very soon. Loretta, so today we're going to be looking at the grassroots mobilization of Peter Obi in northern Nigeria. So it's been assumed that Peter Obi's candidacy is more like a southern thing. Okay, some people have spread the propaganda, the rumors, and that is what it's made to look like. That Peter Obi is not really popular in the north. And what would you have to say about that?
Okay, though I'm not really sure, but from the campaign we saw the last time, we watched the video and the turnout was really massive, and that alone is encouraging. And for me, to a large extent, I'm convinced that he has a large number of supporters in the north as well, not just in the south and the eastern part of the country. But I've also seen lots of personnel who are giving their support. I've seen video, I've seen short clips and all of that. People saying they go to the north to sensitize people, tell them to give their vote. That is not time to vote for tribalism or political parties. We've seen people trying to do their best to make sure they sensitize people. They try and convince them to make them see reasons why they should vote for Peter Obi.
Okay. So, all right. So we are going to be finding out, is it true that Peter Obi is not popular in northern Nigeria? Joining us today is the national coordinator and the convener of the Peter Obi 2023 support movement in the person of Prince Nati Awuta. Hello, Prince. It's a pleasure having you on the show. Okay.
Kaduna based. It is because of what I've noticed about the person of Peter Obi that had us come together to start this movement. And I can tell you that we are in 30 of the 36 states of the Federation. And I want to state clearly that it is not possible to have someone who ran on the platform of the PDP in the last general elections, and but for some reasons didn't pull through, to today claim he's not popular. So I wouldn't want to call the name of any other politician, but whoever ran together with Peter Obi in the last elections that came second, I think that was enough publicity across the Federation and not just in the north alone. So Peter Obi is well known and is a household name in the north. Thank you.
That's very soon. Okay, but I also have the Kebbi State coordinator of the Peter Obi 2023 support movement in the person of Salisu Nasiru. Issa, you're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being with you all. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right. I can see that both of you are quite young.
Having young people in politics in Nigeria. We already know that it's a normal thing to see a young northerner involved in politics. I believe that the northern part of Nigeria has woken up to politics a long time ago. And we see this in the elections. During the election and the result countings, we see the high numbers that come from the election votings. Now, I would like to know, are these numbers real? Are there actual people that go out to vote on election day? Please tell me, I'm going to be asking you, Prince Nati now, please tell me about the participation of northern youths in politics.
Is a rise in the participation of the younger generation in the politics, especially in the north. Just like you observed, I am from Kaduna State in the north, and my Kebbi State, my brother in Kebbi is from the north also. And why I'm even more confident about our numbers is the fact that the no, we don't give shishi slang has actually gone beyond, like it has gone like wildfire, because you have whatever you find in the north is strictly from personal pockets, from like-minded fellows, and all. And then it's good to see the youth in the north uniting, irrespective of tribe, religion, or the part of region, whether it's the northwest or the north central. Once you hear the mention of obedience, we then come under one umbrella, and then we just go for the aim. No division. We're not interested in who takes what glory. Like, once you just mention the name obedience, we are one. We don't see differences in anything, not even in age. Like, I think this obedient movement is the first movement I will find myself mingling with even older generations, and there is no rancor, there are no issues, there are no, do you know I'm older than you, why do you talk to me like that? No, rather, it's like, I think this is the first movement that will allow youths to head a movement, and the older generation will follow, happily contributing their own quota. So I think the participation of the youth in politics in the north is very, very interesting.
Okay, all right. Talking about the obedience movement now in Kaduna State, where you come from, we have seen the governor of Kaduna State, Mr. El-Rufai, trying to suppress the obedience movement. In fact, during before the first campaign, the march, before the first solidarity march, Governor El-Rufai came out to say that if the obedient movement gets up to 200 people, that he was going to be surprised. And this is in a bid to suppress the obedience movement in the state. Even when the obedience march held, there are cases of police brutality and police interference in the movement. Now, how would you say the obedient movement, how far has it come in Kaduna State? Are they being suppressed? Is it growing? What is the mood in Kaduna State when it comes to the obedience movement?
Well, I think to react to this, it's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to the polls in 2023, because there's a lot that the poll will say loudly that will go beyond what I'm saying right now. But for the obedient movement in Kaduna, it's let me start from the national level. I call the obedient movement a divine mandate because not even His Excellency Peter Obi, our principal, can take the glory for this movement. Not myself, not even you. We just wake up and find ourselves wanting to contribute our own quota to make the movement a reality. So coming back to Kaduna, I'll also tell you it's also a divine mandate. It is beyond any governor or any politician, because I can tell you we have representation in all the 23 local government area of Kaduna State, and then we are no mean numbers. Like judging from the comment the governor made, in fact, it was a step in the right direction, if you ask me, because even those who did not care before, the government gave us a very good publicity, and
Yes.
then yes, so it was something the youth actually looked forward to, and for anyone who watched that, they knew that the number was beyond them. Yes, it was beyond them. And for the police harassment, I wouldn't really know, but it's possible there were in some pockets areas, because the rally held simultaneously in the three regions, Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3 senatorial districts. But
Okay.
for the central region where I am based, the rally was fine. The rally was okay, and we even had some of the security agencies giving us some thumbs up, which was more like a morale
Wow.
added
Okay.
to the movement.
Okay.
Yeah, so the rally was one I actually looked forward to. We all did, and it came out perfect. It came out perfect.
Interesting. Okay, we'll come to you, Salisu Nasir. Now, we understand that you are a lawyer, okay, and you are practicing. You are also a Muslim. I want to know, what is the mood in Kebbi State? And
from? What is the mood in the streets? How do the people see Mr. Peter Obi's candidacy, and of course his running mate Yusuf Datti? How have they accepted this candidacy?
Well, thank you very much for that question. Let me begin from the point where I first received the mandate of becoming the Kebbi State Coordinator for Peter Obi 2023 support movement here in Kebbi State. At that point, it was a kind of a challenge upon my shoulders, because I saw it as a kind of challenge, because it is something that the normal Northerner would not accept at first. But then I saw it as a divine mandate, as everyone is saying, because we in the Northwest, especially Kebbi State, and from the part where I'm from, we are the ones suffering the most. So for you to sell Peter Obi, you actually don't need to go extra miles, except for a person who is sentimental about accepting what Peter Obi has to offer. It was so challenging to the point where within my vicinity, a lot of persons began to call me Peter Obi. Now you can imagine how something like that applies here in the North, being a Muslim, being a Northerner, and you're called a Christian name. But it was something I saw as a joyous daybreak, the coming of Peter Obi. I saw it as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of different sufferings of the populace.
sorry to cut you in, Salisi. We observe that your audio is not really clear. Please, we would like to hear every word that you speak, because it's really important. A lot of people are listening to you and would like your voice to be very clear. So maybe you could lose the headphone and let's just use
okay, I don't know if the audio is better now.
Okay, it's better. Please continue.
Is the audio better now, please?
Yeah, it's better now. It's better. Continue now.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, first of all, let me begin by appreciating the efforts you guys are making. When the mandate first fell upon my shoulder here in Kebbi State, it was very, very challenging, in the sense that this is the North, and it is ideal or expected that every Northerner is expected to vote for a Northerner. But then we didn't, especially we, the ex-host first, down to our members, we didn't see it that way. We've been voting for our brothers, we've been voting for our parents, we've been voting for our grandfathers who happen to be Muslim. No change to this point. If you're very familiar with the Northwest, especially, you will agree with me that they've given the whole mandate to the APC in the previous election, because they felt APC was going to dry their tears. But
Yeah.
the issue we actually saw, the issue we've experienced so far is the fact that we give them our time, we give them our votes, but then we are the ones suffering the most, especially from the part where I'm from, down here in Kebbi State. So it wasn't so impossible to actually attract persons to be part of the movement. You don't need to go extra miles to sell Peter Obi to anyone, because Peter Obi is someone who is seen as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of withering sufferings of the Kebians. Um, Down to the point where we had to go down to the streets because there is something about sentiment in the north. A northerner normally would never vote for someone who is not from the north and a Muslim to that end. But the question is, what has our Muslim brothers done for us? What are the Northerners doing? How have they been able to eradicate some of our challenges? We are part of those states that are suffering so much from insecurity today. So these are the things we use. These were the selling points to show that this person is not actually from the north, is not a Muslim, but then he has the interest of Muslims at heart. What the Muslims cannot do, this is what this. So it wasn't so impossible, though we had a lot of challenges at the first instance when the movement first started. But I can tell you, together with other support movements, we were able to organize the first independent mega rally in the Kebbi state capital. First, it was seen as something that is very, very much impossible. But then we went ahead, we did it. And I can promise you it sent down shockwaves to the spines of the APC and the PDP here in Kebbi State, because they felt they were going to have an easy ride. But that was not the case, because they saw how we came out in our numbers. We are not just on social media. The North is also obedient.
Okay. The North is also obedient. That is what I'm going to take away from that comment. All right, thank you very much, Salisu Nasir. Okay, so Toby has come out to say, don't vote for me because I am a Christian. Don't vote for me because I am a Southeasterner. Okay, vote for me because I can deliver. I can bring Nigeria from the place of consumption to the place of production. That can change the economy. And he stated it over and over again why he needed to vote.
But this is what we hear from the other candidates. We've heard stuff like Emi Lokon, which in the Yoruba parlance means it's my turn, it's our turn. And we've also seen another candidate telling the Northerners that they shouldn't vote, that Nigeria doesn't need an Igbo or Yoruba candidate. Now, this is what we have seen in the past in Nigerian politics, where our the political leaders use sectionalism, ethnicity, religion to divide us. And it's about time the youth woke up and change and have a change of mind, okay, and refuse to be controlled, mind controlled by these politicians that divide us with ethnicity and religion. I think every problem that Nigeria is facing right now, even the Christians and the Muslims, the Igbos, Yoruba, wherever you come from, everybody is experiencing it. So the problem is not where the person comes from. I believe that is already established. All right, but I would like to know further. What is your group, your support group, the P2B 2023 support movement? What are you doing to mobilize people for the Labour Party? We know that the Labour Party is not so popular, especially in the North. In fact, everywhere the Labour Party hasn't really been popular so far. Okay, so it may be a problem. People know about P2B, but they don't know about the Labour Party. So a lot of sensitization still needs to be done about the Labour Party, because on election day, you're not going to see P2B's face on the ballot paper. It's the Labour Party logo that would be seen on the ballot paper. So tell me, what is your support group? I'm going to come to the nation coordinator a little bit, but I want to start with you, Salisu. So tell us what you are doing in Kebbi State regarding this issue.
Yes, thank you very much for the question. First of all, let me begin with addressing the fact that there are a lot of support groups that are supporting Peter Obi, even down here in Kebbi State. I personally made sure I was able to unite all the forces and make sure we come under one umbrella, because we believe that is or that was the only way we can actually have a united force. What we did then was we created an avenue where each support group came in and states their own mandates. Personally, the Peter Obi 2023 support movement has the object of bringing in the youths, the women, because we believe these are the persons who have the highest number of votes to actually cast. So what we did then was we made sure we actually appoint coordinators down from the states, the local governments, the ward, and we're making plans to see how we can actually man individuals down to the polling units, because that is where the whole politics and the campaigning lies. We've been able to have coordinators from various local government, various wards down to polling units, and we're looking how we can actually extend it. The idea is 1 to call 10, 10 to call others. If as a coordinator from the state level, you have your local government coordinators, they call in people from the ward level down to the polling units. Each person is expected to bring in 10 more obedient who will continue to spread the gospel, because we, the youth, we are seeing it, as I said earlier, as a joyous daybreak. If we don't get it right, we are going to, sorry to say, to an extent, perish, because we see it as an idea that is going to melt the hearts that have been iced by the cold touch of hate and blinded reservations. We see it as something that will bring forth new tales of bliss, regardless of ethnic, religious, or ideological inclinations. We shall stand as pinnacle of hope, standing as pinnacles of liberation. We've seen it in other states. Kebbi State is also reflecting it. And I can promise you that gone are the days where we don't have people to man polling units and a lot of things are done. No, we're taking ahead to see how these polling units can be manned. And if it gets to a point where we are affected as individuals, where our interests are affected, then our voices are going to be heard. We are not going to pick guns, we are not going to blow down trees, but then our voices shall be heard.
Thank you very much. Okay, so from what I understand, the strategy is one person gets 10 people. One person speaks to 10 people. Okay, so one person controls 10 people and get people involved, and then out of those 10, each person tells another 10 people. I think that's a very strategic move from the Peter Obi 2023 support movement. And I will come back to Prince Nati, who is the convener and the national coordinator of the Peter Obi 2023 support movement. All right, Prince Nati, please can you tell us what your group is doing on the national level? I understand that you have a group in about 30 states of the 36 states in Nigeria. So tell us exactly what your group is doing for the grassroots mobilization of the Peter Obi campaign.
All right, thank you about that. My group, Peter Obi 2023 support movement, is actually up to a lot. We sat one time in the leaders meeting and we understood that beyond social media, there is work to be done. However, social media is still significant because it is people who operate the social media. Today, we are having this meeting via social media and we are reaching a larger audience via social media. So social media in its own self is significant, but then there's also a significant number outside the social media.
True.
And so when we came together and noticed the power actually lies in the polling units, which is called the wards now, because there is no national coordinator without state coordinators. There are no state coordinators without other coordinators under. So we got to understand that bulk of the work is actually not at the national, state, or local government level, but at the wards level. Because, for example, it is easy to say I'm a national coordinator and I have just 30 state coordinators, but it is even harder for my brother Salisu, who is just a state coordinator, but perhaps has more local government coordinators under him than myself. And then those local government coordinators have ward coordinators under them more than himself in some local governments. So we then realized that, okay, we needed to be away from the publicity we've done publicly. Yeah, we have billboards in some states, especially we have 2 billboards in Kano. We have done voter sensitization. We have done one-on-one interface with market women and the rest. But then we realized that when 2023 comes and we cast these votes, what then becomes of our votes, or how do we let the normal market woman in the street know that this is the Labour Party logo? Because it has same color combination with some like 3-4 parties on the ballot. And how do we carefully make sure that Mama, who is not tech inclined, doesn't go on that day and for color combination sake give it to a different party? So we started the 1 man to 10 is just one. We also have what we intend, a campaign we want to run, which is each one deliver your polling unit. Now, how does each one deliver your polling unit works? It's that as we came together as leaders, we took the pain upon ourselves to get the updated list of every state, every local government, every ward, and every polling unit in Nigeria. So in few days time, you will find the website. What we intend to do is have polling unit observers in every of these wards. So you just need to come online, choose your state, choose your local government. You will find your ward. You choose your ward. Under your ward, you will find both new and the existing polling units. We got that directly from the INEC website. And what this is intended in doing is, from now till the end of December, we want to see what states, what region, what local government are our strong base. And then off social media, we go with our printed papers to those localities where there are no representation online. And then, have one-on-one, like it's doable. We've started in Abuja already. We have one-on-one interface. Hello, yes, this is your area. This is where's your polling unit you mentioned. If on our list there's nobody there, we register you manually, have your data, because we have a central database, so that we just want to make sure there's a representation in every
polling
polling
unit.
unit at the moment. Yes. So
Okay.
we are employing technology as well as our manual inputs, so that our target is from now to December. This is what can help us as PO23SM to have our votes secured. And it will also help us in the each one deliver your polling unit campaign, because we agree that charity begins at home. I cannot be national coordinator when my local government in Kaduna or my polling unit Obi does not win. Then I have not done well. Yes. So instead of me being in Kaduna and worrying about what happens in Anambra, it is then better that I leave Kaduna and then focus on my very own polling unit, and allow Salisu to focus on his own state and polling unit, and then so that it becomes more of a corporate responsibility for everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Salisu Isa, for your time. But I would also like to ask, talking about grassroots mobilization in the northern region of Nigeria, I would like you to share with us some of the challenges you've encountered so far, and then
people say
we've heard people
that when it comes to casting their votes, they believe so much in religion and political parties. So I'd like to know, do you have fears that after all these efforts of trying to convince them, make them see reasons why they should vote for Peter Obi, do you think they may likely change their mind and then vote for people from their religion or some other political parties?
Politics in the north is mostly centered on religion, mostly centered on ethnicity, and mostly centered on zones. One of the things we also don't understand about the north is that politics in the north is mostly centered on how the highest bidder takes the votes. Now, this is something we've over time been trying to eradicate, because politics in the north is mostly centered on and how people are getting incentives to actually vote. Now, been going on sensitizations as of last month here in Kebbi State. I, alongside other stakeholders, organized a poetry event where we were able to actually sensitize on the need to vote for competence and not just voting for competence. When we speak of competence today, of all the candidates we have, we know who is the most competent. So the issue of religion, of ethnicity, the issue of tribe should not come in as a defining factor. We've been experiencing a lot of challenges. As being said, politics lacks in the rural areas. Now, the obedience here in Kebbi State, for example, have been going out, contributing their own means. But the truth is, there is a point to which a person can give out their own means. There is a point to which your means cannot actually go further. So we've been having a lot of challenges in terms of mobilization. We have obedience who want to go down to these areas. We have obedience who wants to go down to the lowest level to meet the man who is working in his farm, to meet the woman who is drawing water from the well, to meet the child who is hawking down in the lowest rural settlement. But the challenge is mobility. We've actually faced these challenges. And one of the challenges we've also faced is the issue of communication. We have a lot of obedience here in Kebbi out, but the problem is they find it difficult to actually communicate to these persons with the local dialects. For individuals like us who are from the north, who are opportune to also hear some of these local languages, we find it a lot more easier to communicate to them. But the truth is, there is a point to which our legs can go. We cannot cover all of these places. Equally, the issue of religion also comes into play. When it's time for politics, there is this thing that happens in the north where the preachers and the local religious leaders are given the mandate to preach on the need to vote for your brother. And where you don't do that, it is actually tantamount to this belief of becoming a non-Muslim. We've actually made plans to see how we can also go down to these places and also emphasize that even in our scriptures, even in our religious books, there is a provision where competence should come first. You should prioritize your brother who is not doing the right thing, unbeliever. Now, these are things we've been. Some of the fears we have in terms of, okay, we've been able to go out, sensitize, tell these people about Peter Obi, what Peter Obi has to offer. Some of the fears we have is along the line, vote buying is going to be on the rampage. We know that. Anyone who is saying people are wise today, people are cautious, they are just saying it based on their own personal society. But we're speaking from the north. We know what happens. We know the things that happen in polling units. So regardless of how we are able to convince people, these things are going to happen. Now, how do we curb some of these challenges? How do we meet some of these expectations? We are looking on how to partner with the gubernatorial candidates down to the senatorial and those persons to see how we can also make our own efforts. We don't necessarily have to give out money because that is the slogan. We don't give out shishi. But what can we do to actually match the might of giving out money? These are the things we're looking at how we can actually curb. We don't have anything on the ground yet, but we are looking at how we can actually face these challenges and eradicate them. Sensitization, mobilization will continue, but then there is the greater challenge, and which is the polling units on the day of voting. I tell you, that is what is applicable in the north, especially Kebbi State. The highest bidder takes the votes. We are looking to eradicate this. We've made sensitization on imploring people to vote for competence and competence. But the problem is we cannot actually change the mind of people that have been drawn into the idea of give me money before I vote for you. So we are looking at strategies on curbing some of these menaces. Thank you very much.
Okay. I hear you, and I hear that money is going to play a huge role in these coming elections, and that is a bad thing, a very bad thing, a very terrible thing, because the people have been impoverished. A lot of people are living in poverty, and it's a shame that they would sell their votes for a few thousands of naira. But I want to ask you about something that you also highlighted earlier, which is the voting based on religion. The person, Yusuf Datti, is a northern Muslim, and he is their brother, the northern brothers. He's also a Muslim, and of course, they can relate to him. He's also a powerful person, a powerful family, a very powerful family in the north. I want to ask you now, what is the strength of Yusuf Datti in the North? And do you think he has powers to convince people and to, make people see the candidacy of Peter Obi is the best thing that Nigeria needs at this moment?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me take us down the memory lane. If you can remember, in 2015, when Goodluck Jonathan was contesting for the president of Nigeria, his running mate at that time was his vice president, then Namadi Sambo. I want us to understand that a lot of people have no interest on who is the running mate. The interest lies on the flag bearer, which is the presidential. From the part of Yusuf Datti Baba, he was able to make rounds down the northwestern states in Nigeria. He was also in Kebbi State, I think about a month ago. We were able to receive him. And we actually went further to lay emphasis on the fact that he needs to communicate more with the people. Peter Obi coming down to Kebbi State wouldn't have the media to communicate more with the local people here compared to Obi and to Yusuf Datti. So he was able to go around and see some of these people, emphasizing on the fact that the issue of religion should not even come to play. He is a Muslim who is from the Northwest. Also, he's from Kaduna State. So you can see the is beginning to come in. The creation of the communication is at its peak now, because this is the best time where he needs to come in and let the people know that he is not just a figurehead vice president. He is going to be part of the discussion. He's going to be part and parcel of the presidency when they actually emerge. So he has been making his own moves, but I believe he needs to do more. Down to the local individuals here in Kebbi State, a lot of them don't even know about the fact that he is contesting with Peter Obi. A lot of them still Christian who is from the East, who has done a lot of things in the past. So we are making efforts to see how we can eradicate this thought from their minds. But the problem is they need to have that sense of belonging that, okay, this person is actually together with someone who is our own, someone who, when he becomes president, is going to have to him about our.
Sorry, Salisu, are you saying that they don't have that sense that Yusuf Datti is running with Peter Obi yet? Are you saying that it hasn't been drawn into their heads yet? They don't believe it yet? Do you think there should be more effort that should be made in the presence and prominence of Yusuf Datti?
Yes, that is actually what I'm saying. He came down to Kebbi State. I, alongside other coordinators, were able to receive him. We had an event, but that does not just stop here in the state capital. His presence is very much felt in the state capital, and I believe that is obtainable in other state capitals of the country. But the question is, how does the local man feel his presence? I can full of assurance that his presence is not felt, that his candidacy is not even going down to these places. There is a lot that we can do as support groups, and there is also a lot that his own campaign team can do as the campaign team of the best vice presidential candidates.
Okay. Okay.
There is a lot of challenges.
All right.
That is what that sense of belonging, to feel that, okay, we have a person who, whatever happens, not let our interests die.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, politics, as we already know, politics is all about interest. So even as much as we may try to say, okay, don't vote based on ethnicity, don't vote based on religion and all of that, everybody still wants their interest to be met, okay? They want their interest to be protected. So it's important, since the P2B candidacy is round, it's a round ticket. It considers everybody from every part of the country and whatever religion that you believe in, okay, you practice. So it's something that is wholesome and everybody has a part in it, everybody has an interest in it, and I believe that this is a candidacy that is going to benefit us all as Nigerians. It's a pity that our time, we have even overshot our time, but I'm going to ask you just one last question. I'm going to come to the national coordinator now of the P2B 2023 support movement. I want to ask you one final question before we let you go. Please tell us, how critical is it for Peter Obi to win the 2023 presidency, the presidential election? How critical is it? How important is it for Peter Obi to win?
Thank you for that question. 2022 general election is actually so critical, and the presidency of Peter Obi is more like we are like at the crossroad right now, and then there is only one person who is supposed to throw the right direction, who, if we miss, we might have to blindly navigate and go and start from the beginning until we get to this crossroad where we are right now. Peter Obi's presidency in 2023 is of utmost importance to the country as a whole, to the African continent and the world at large. This is because no one can underplay the role of leadership, sound leadership in any sphere, be it in the education sphere, be it in the business sphere, wherever sphere. The right leadership will always produce the right results. And right now, we have a country where the youth are willing, but they just need the leader to tell them this is a direction to channel your energy. So it is critical to the economy. It is critical to Nigeria's education. It is critical to my own self. I don't think I want to witness another 8-year term of someone who is not a Peter Obi at the moment. I can't even imagine the adding 8 years to my age and how old I will be if God spares my life till then. So I want to ask everyone also and all our listeners out there to also consider it as a personal question. Like, imagine adding 8 years of Nigeria, of present-day Nigeria to your age. Do you really think it is worth it, or to spend that 8 hours to queue up to make sure that our vote counts? Because if the votes don't count, these politicians will not spend as much as they are willing to spend to get access to the villa. So his presidency is actually very, very important to the younger generation and even the older one as well. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. Salisu, now, your final question, which is not actually a question. I want you to say something. Can you hear me, Salisu? Can you hear me, Salisu?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, Salisu, if you can hear me. For all the Muslims that can hear you, that are watching this program right now, I'd like you to pass out a message to them about the 2023 elections. All the Northern Muslims that are watching this program, that are watching us right now, I'd like you to just give them something to think about.
Assalamu alaikum ‘yan uwana musulmai, sunana Salisu Nasir Isa daga jihar Kebbi. A cikin yanayin da muke ciki yanzu, na yadda muka shiga mawuyacin hali na daga rashin tsaro, ga kayan abinci sun yi tsada, kuma ba komai ba ne, illa mun ɗauki addini da kuma ‘yan wantaka mun sa a cikin siyasa. Lokaci ne wanda ya kamata a ce mu hito mu nuna cewa abubuwan nan ba ne, ɗan uwanci a cikin siyasa ba shi ba ne. Mun gani, mun duba, mun cancanta, kuma mun ga wanda ya dace a ce mu hito mu ba shi goyon baya. Mutum ne wanda bai kasance cikin waɗanda suka saba mulkan ƙasar gaba, bai kasance daga cikin waɗanda ake gani a matsayin godfathers, bai da wannan history na nuna cewa shi ya kasance daga cikin cabals na siyasa a cikin ƙasar ga. Mutum ne wanda yake kishin ƙasa, wanda yake kishin talaka, wanda kuma ya ba da muhimmanci akan abubuwan da za a kama fitarwa waje ƙasa ta samu kuɗi, amma kuma ba zai ba da muhimmanci akan kama shigo da kayan abinci ba. Yana da muhimmanci muke gani na rashin tsaro ba komai bane, illa akwai waɗanda suke cikin wagga mulki da mulkin da ya gabata, waɗanda ba su bari ƙasa ta zauna lahiya, tunda daga nan suke samun kuɗinsu, daga nan suke samun arziki. To mun samu mutum wanda ya hita daga cikin yanayin da mu muka hito, wanda yake bi da wani alaƙa da su, wanda kuma ya ɗauki alƙawalin cewa ba komai bane yasa ya ga ya kamata ya zama shugaban ƙasar Najeriya, illa saboda wahalan da ake ciki da kuma sauransu. Da kowa, ina kira da kowa da kowa, magana addini, magana ba shi hito.
Okay. Salusi's network seems to be a little bit itchy. Hello, Salusi. Assalamu alaikum, Salusi. Your network is quite poor, but it's a pleasure listening to you. I hope you heard me. I said assalamu alaikum. Okay. Good. It's a pleasure having you guys, gentlemen, on the program today. I believe we're going to have you as the show continues in a couple of weeks. We are just a few months away from the elections, and so we have to put in our best now. This is the time to give this our best shot. Okay, this is not a time to go back or to to relax or to relent, but this is time to push even for more frontiers, to cover more people, to get more people involved in the obedience movement, so that we can together form a new Nigeria. Thank you, gentlemen, for being part of the program Hope Alive today on the Datti Family TV. We're going to be calling on you again very soon. Okay, I hope that you would respond and answer as well. We call on you.
You're welcome. Yeah, we'll be available anytime you need us. It was
all right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are very much available whenever you call upon us. Thank you very much for the opportunity. God bless Nigeria. God bless the public. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. And there you have it. The convener of the Peter Obi 2023 support movement and the state coordinator, that's the KB state coordinator, Salusi Nasir.
And of course, Prince Nati Auta. Loretta, what a program, what an episode it was today. You know, I think this has gone some extent in debunking that notion that Peter B is not popular in the north. Yeah. Now we see that some work is being done in the north, and he is popular in the north. All right, guests, viewers, of course, thank you so much for being a part of the program today. We hope that you were able to learn a thing or two. All right, so for some of you that haven't joined us yet on our Facebook pages and subscribe to our YouTube page as well, YouTube channel, please go and do that right now. We at Obi Datti Family TV on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All right, so just follow us right now. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for you to get exclusive information, okay, on everything surrounding the Obi Datti candidacy, because we're going to be giving you updates on the news around our principal, Peter Obi, and of course his running mate, Yusuf Datti. Until we come your way again sometime next week, please keep being obedient and keep spreading the word about the Obi Datti candidacy. And together, we will form a new Nigeria. My name is Prince Kachi. Bye for now.